Hey family, and pew, 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 pew. What is up? Your girl is finally holding the physical copies of the book, I Am Authentic. Unleash the original you and win in your God-given purpose. A book by Consolata. I mean, just look at the back cover, guys. This is actually an image of me. So I also try to be authentic in terms of that. It's so amazing. It's so fulfilling. I can't even explain it, but God has really, literally been faithful by just ensuring that I actually have these books in my hands. Like just last year, it was all a dream. It was all something in motion, but now it's truly materializing, and I'm just so grateful. I'm just so glad and excited for what God is actually doing. Now, today we're going to be talking about the authenticity of God as seen in creation, which is something that is like so important, that the root of who we are, because this book, I Am Authentic, I am actually refers to the authenticity of God. The I am in the title of this book is actually God, like I am. We see him when he meets with Moses during the burning bush experience. And God says, I am going to tell them that I am that I am. And this translated to Hebrew, its Hebrew root word is Eye, Asha, Eye, which actually means I will be what I will be. So in each situation that the Israelites faced, it actually allowed God to show up authentically in that situation, to show up as Jehovah Jireh, to show up as Jehovah, the Lord Almighty, the all-knowing, the provider. You remember how God also showed them by giving them a pillar of cloud during the day that it may give them direction, and a pillar of fire during the night to ensure that they still saw even at night and were able to continue to walk and move to the promised land. God also showed up for them as provider by giving them water, by giving them manna. So in each situation, that allowed God to show up authentically as himself. So today we're going to be talking about the authenticity of God as seen in creation. Isn't that just amazing that when we trace back, we see how God was original in everything that he did, even from the very, very beginning. In Genesis 1, we're given an account of how God created the earth, right? It says day 1, light was created. 2, sky. Day 3, dry land, seas, plants, and trees. Day 4, sun, moon, and stars. Day 5, creatures that live in the sea and creatures that fly. Day 6, animals that live on the earth and human beings whom he created in his image. Day 7, God rested after completion. We realize that even in that moment, there was authenticity of knowing each day comes with its thing, On this day, I'm not trying to create everything in one day, but the authenticity of each day had something, an original purpose attached to it. God didn't create human beings on the first day. He ensured that everything was set in motion, set in stone, that when human beings are finally created, like they're literally just coming with the exact mandate to dominate, to rule, to subdue the earth. So God had a plan. Everything step by step, done day by day. He didn't rest on the first day or on the second day, but on the last day, knowing that he'd completed everything, which just shows that even creation actually speaks of the authenticity of God. It's so nice to be flipping these pages when I'm actually speaking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We also see that there's the 3 heavens. In the second letter to the Corinthians, Paul actually says, I was caught up into the 3rd heaven 14 years ago. So we recognize that Paul speaks of a 3rd heaven, which means there's a first and a second heaven. So the 3rd heaven, this is where God Almighty reigns. The universe, everything is literally like there with his angels and just his bosom, where it's his home. And the Bible then says earth is his footstool. So that is literally where his throne is. So that's where the angels sing, holy, holy, holy are you, Lord Almighty, and surround his throne. Then the second heaven, this is where the devil rules his entire empire with the legion of demons and fallen angels, as seen in Ephesians 6 verse 12, that says, for we are not fighting against people made of flesh and blood, but against the evil rulers and authorities of the unseen worlds, against the mighty powers of darkness who rule this world, and against wicked spirits in the heavenly realms. So this is the unseen world where the devil, his angels, his cousins, and everyone resides there. Now, the first heaven is what we see with our natural eyes. It contains the sun, the moon, and the stars. Like when you look up, you can actually see that, the birds and the clouds. So I think it's so interesting to realize that even the heavens have their own authenticity going on in the, like, where God does not exist on this earth or in this heaven that we can see right above. He exists in a third heaven, and it goes on and on and on. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. And then now we realize that even when he created the angels themselves, we realize that both Michael and Gabriel are angels. But as we see, Gabriel is always the one that was sent to give good news to the people. For example, when he spoke to Zechariah that they would have a child, when he spoke to Mary that she would be the mother of Jesus. So the authenticity of his purpose was to literally come through and share good news. Whilst that of Michael, as we see, was the one, the angel of war. He literally just came through to be fighting. We remember even when Daniel fasted for 21 days and needed a response from the heavens, Michael was the one who was sent to fight and ensure that Daniel got his answer. So I think that's just interesting to know that even in creation, God still displayed his most authentic self. And I pray that even in this season, we may be able to unleash that original us that God truly created, and that way we may be able to fully achieve our purpose as well. Now you can imagine if Gabriel tried to do what Michael does, like probably as a soft skin, soft bones or whatever, and then he's just met with the, the Prince of Persia, and he's buried alive, you know what I mean? Like anything could happen. Or maybe if Michael then wanted to say these messages to people, maybe overheard, God saying, giving Gabriel an instruction, and says, no, I want to tell Mary. And then he just doesn't say the things the right way. You can be so offended because someone is probably trying to tell you something meaningful, something good, something noteworthy, but still at the same time, you're like, bro, what just happened? Instead of giving you good news, you're just like, I don't understand what's happening here. So I pray that we may be authentic. And guys, please do watch this whole series up till the very end. You're absolutely going to be blessed by, the rest of this. We're going to cover relationships. We're going to cover business, worship, whatever it is, career. And I trust that you'll be blessed. Until the next video. Bye. Mwah.